Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. And we're currently in a progression of a OTE here, right? We're currently in a deep retracement, scaring off traders on the right side of the market. A OTE stands for a deep retracement after a breakup structure, scaring off traders on the right side of the market. A OTE is very important. You need to watch out for this because this will affect your trades a lot. Because a OTE could go right by your entry and bounce back up. Have you ever seen you guys trades going like this, right? You're in profits, market, market goes down, right? That's your entry right over here. You entered, market goes up, goes right back down, and goes right back up higher, right? So you break even here thinking you're going to go up higher, not come back down. When it comes back down, all it is, it's just an OTE. So market goes, makes a low, makes a high, it makes a high, eventually makes a lower low, makes a higher high. Then eventually this right here, it's just an OTE, right? OTE is a deep retracement scaring off trades on the right side of the market. And keep in mind, OTE could as well be a patternized, right? It as well could fail, right? This OTE could definitely fail, but we're in a current progression of it. And OTE will gain your emotions. Keep in mind, it will gain your emotions. You will feel some sort of emotions, because of the OTE. It's literally meant to scare you off. It's literally meant to, as you guys know, trading is all about psychology. But if you're somebody like me, you will not feel any emotions because I'm different. But OTE will usually scare off a lot of people because you get your emotions. Trading is all about psychology and mindset, right? So if you see a big push to the downside right your entry, you think is over for you, right? This is what it's meant for you to do. It is literally what is OTE meant, to do, right? A OTE happens when the market makes up for a bullish OTE. When the market makes a low, a high, a lower low that swoops out this low, first low, that eventually makes a higher high. And keep in mind, dumb money traders thinking, okay, it's gonna go only higher from here, right? Dumb money traders think it's only gonna go higher from here, right? So dumb money traders buy from here, long it up, they get wrecked, right? Eventually, they rethink their buys, and the market, they rethink it, they start taking short. Eventually, market go up higher and stop them out once again to a shorting opportunity, right? OTE is you must be very cautious because OTE could go right on your entry and bounce right back up out of it. OTE is basically a deep retracement, as I said before. And I think you guys already heard this quote multiple times before, that where they say your entries is always the OTE, your stop loss is always the turtle soup. Entry is OTE, right? Entry is OTE, stop loss is a turtle soup. You can see our stop loss is turtle soup, entry is the OTE, right? So market go multiple times here, eventually go up higher, right? Hypothetically, let's say this goes on a win. I do not know if we're going to win or not because market is not random. Market will do what he wants to do, right? This push to the downside is nothing random. It's supposed to happen. It's because of the OTE, right? The market does not move randomly. It moves how it wants to move, right? It's controlled, right? But a OTE, the reason you want to watch out for this is because market will come to your entry multiple times. So this will literally make you miss out on a lot of profits. How you miss out on a lot of profits? You would think that, once you're up a little bit, you think market will not come back down. Market will come back down, boom, goes right back up higher. I know you guys, this happened to you guys multiple times. You guys said, oh, he took my stop loss and went right back up higher. That's literally a OTE, right? That's the definition of OTE. It's literally meant to scare off traders. And although you say you don't feel like you're scared, you will, that will still happen regardless, right? So even if you're not scared, this deep retracement will happen before pushing up higher. And OTE usually starts up the next leg. So usually OTE is meant to do a huge push up, get a breakup structure, and get a huge deep retracement. Eventually, OTE will start off the next leg. So just from here and we could have a second leg to an upside here, right? We could have a second leg from here on in. Market go, potentially, hypothetically, let's just say this goes in the wind. You can go up here from here and start up the next leg, right? OTE is a deep retracement. And how does a OTE happen? And keep in mind, this is before the OTE happened. This is before the outcome. This is during the progression of the OTE. I don't know if you're going to go in and win or not, but I see this being an OTE, so I'm going to talk about it, right? But, because we could study the outcome as well, see, because I'm going to make a trade recap on this trade, right? We call it if it goes to the win or loss, and we're going to see the outcome of the OTE, if it works out or not, right? But currently, what I see is the OTE here. We're currently in progression. So I'm going to show you guys the progression of the OTE. And you will feel emotions, by the way. You will feel emotions. You think, oh, you went up by 20 pips. Market dropped back down to break even. oh shit, oh well you know, what should I get out or not? Oh shit, forgot to profit, right? Will mess out with your psychology a little bit, but it's literally that's literally what it's meant to do. It's meant to scare off traders who are in the right side of the market. And how does the OTE get created? For a bullish OTE, and keep in mind, never pattern trade these. OTE will offer you the best setups, will offer usually A+ setups, but keep in mind, I'll show you guys multiple examples of OTE, but keep in mind that OTE, you do not want to pattern trade OTE, right? You want to, you know, have logic around OTE. Even trading OTE, yes, OTE usually gives you the highest probably setups, but do not pattern trade it because it could happen any time frame, right? You can see right over here. A OTE happens when the market makes a low for a bullish OTE, and give everything you keep in mind. You could do a vice versa, right? For a bullish example, market will make a low, a high, then make a lower low, then make a higher high, and this higher high must break structure of this first high. So first low, first high, second low, second high. It must close above the first high wittingly. So you must give us a impulsive like this. You can see this is a pretty good push up to the upside. You do not want a closure like this, right? You don't want a counter closure like this. You usually want a closure like this, right? You get a huge closure. You want a huge closure above it, and eventually you could start up the OTE, right? Eventually, that is a good sign. Okay, OTE might possibly happen. If it does a slowly push up, right, close above it, it will work out. But market will usually stagnate a lot, right? And this is we're currently in a progression for OTE. It could definitely work out. It could definitely fail. But I'm gonna show you guys more examples of OTE here, right? And this is very important. The reason it's very important is because this affects your trade, right? And how does it affect your trade? Because you could get out too early, and OTE could happen and go up higher, right? So it makes basically miss out on profits. You could literally lose too early. You could mess up your whole trading plan because of the OTE, right? And we're currently in a higher time frame OTE as well. This is the low, high, lower low, higher high. So after this whole push up, this retracement would be considered as an OTE. So we have a higher time frame OTE as well. Now I can show you guys a example of OTE working out here, right? So this is currently in the progression of it. I will show you guys the outcome of it as well. The outcome of a OTE here, right? So let me show you guys the outcome of an OTE. Outcome of OTE could happen somewhere around. This is an OTE right over here. This is the outcome of OTE as well. If you go to lower time frame. But wondering how does OTE? It is OTE. Keep in mind. Let me show you guys what I mean. Right? Market made a low, make it a high, made a lower low, make it a high. You can see when it closed above it, it wittingly closed above. It did a big candle closure above it, right? So eventually OTE is from here. You get the magnetic field here to right over here. So this is the strongest leg up. After this push, after this push down, then push up. There's this highest high over there. Eventually, this push to the downside. It's just a simply a OTE before it starts up next leg. You can see how OTE right over here starts up the next leg. It usually starts up the next push to the upside to the downside, right? So if you have a bullish OTE, usually once the market does a huge retracement, right? It usually scare off a lot of traders who are on the right side of the market and will do another push, another leg up to the upside, right? So you basically start up the next leg, right? You can see negative 62 mark got tapped. It didn't tap it, but it's near it, right? So basically trading is nothing's gonna be perfect, right? So the negative 62 mark got tapped. Eventually from here is OTE, right? And for OTE, it's basically a golden Fibonacci zone. And the golden Fibonacci zones are negative 50% to negative 62% to negative 0.70%. I don't think it's a negative, but it's a positive one, right? The 0.70% is a golden Fibonacci zone, and the 0.79% is a golden Fibonacci zone, as well as the 0.886 is a golden Fibonacci zone, right? Market go do a huge retracement. Usually for the OTE, market will usually go at around the 62 to 79 mark, usually always, right? People say the OTE could happen at the 0.50% mark as well. Usually, most of the time happens around the 0.62 to 0.79 mark, right? The 0.50% mark could be OTE, but it usually always has a lower chance of being an OTE. Usually the 0.62 to 0.75 to 0.79 usually always the OTE mark, the golden Fibonacci zone. The 50% mark will usually not a very high probability of an OTE. The highest probability of an OTE happens around 0.62 to 0.79 and the 0.886. So you can have a huge retracement, right? You can see market made a low, high, lower low, higher high. It wouldn't really close above. Eventually, big retracement. Eventually, it calls another leg up to the upside, right? Now, let me show you guys more examples here, right? Since you guys, need more examples to get in your brain. I can show you guys another example right over here. Let me think. Where's it at? This could be OTE here as well, right? Right over here, OTE, right? And I don't have to even go back here, but you see, market made a low, high, lower low, higher high. You can see when it closed above, it willingly closed above. So it closed above with a kind of a, willingly trying to go up, right? Or going down, right? Everything could be vice versa, by the way. So everything could be flipped. So market made a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. Eventually, is the highest high of this, push to the upside. Eventually, high. This is the highest high of this leg up. So you wouldn't count this, you wouldn't count this, you count this because the last is the highest high of this leg up, right? Eventually, the OTE, as I said, happens between 0.62 to 0.79. It could definitely happen around 0.50%, but it's usually, keep in mind, it will be lower probability. The highest probability setups will happen around 0.62 to 0.79. These are the golden Fibonacci zone of an OTE, right? You can see deep retracement. It usually always taps around the 0.62 to 0.79 as a higher probability setups, but it could definitely tap the 0.50% mark. Keep that in mind as well, right? You can see eventually from here, it set up the next leg. You see, first leg, deep retracement to scare off the trades on the right side of the market. Second leg, right? Currently, where we at in the price action, in the progression of it, since you guys know, I will show you guys an example. I will not show you guys shit that is, I will not show you guys an example that already happened that will not happen in a live data market. This is currently happening in the live data market. This could start up the next potential leg to the upside, right? Will this go work? I believe so, but I also believe it will fail because probabilities do not always seek to be winning, right? I always seek to be expecting to lose, right? Because if I set a standard of me expecting to win, I'm gonna involve way more emotions. So I'm expected to lose a trade, right? So it involves less emotion. But we're currently in a progression of a OTE. OTE is very important. Please keep this in mind. Your entry is OTE. Your stop loss is a total soup. Stop loss, total soup, entry, OTE. Please do not break even too early. I see trades breaking out over here. And please do not buy after the breakout structure. So if the market makes a lower high, a lower low, a breakout structure upside of this high, do not fucking buy there, right? Wait for a huge retracement because OT can happen. It's not that it could happen. It will happen, right? It will. It has a high chance of happening, right? So do not buy here. Dumb traders buy here because they think, oh yeah, OTE, yep. The breakout structure is a big bullish sign to the upside. Yep, news push to the upside. Yep, news wants to go up higher. They long it here and it gets topped out, right? They get wrecked. It's literally meant to scare you off. It's meant to make you second guess, right? It's meant to fuck up with your emotions. But guess what? Traders if you're like me, you're not gonna fuck up. So how do you not be scared off? How do you stop second guessing? Is by holding it. Hold the trade. Somebody told me, why do you feel so much emotion? Why does CIC? Why do you hold your trade for such a long time, right? How do you not feel those emotions? It's because I do not let the dopamine get over, right? I did not let the dopamine take over, right? I control my dopamine. Right? Dopamine basically in trading is the satisfaction of winning quick. So if you're getting a trade, you want to win in the next couple of minutes, right? Not the next couple of hours, not the next couple of days. You want to gain the satisfaction as quick as possible, right? So that gets you to not hold the trade as long as time. So that makes you impatient. But usually, how do you hold a trade for such a long time? Is basically by controlling the dopamine. How do you control the dopamine? By staying in the market. If it has not you take profit, hold the trade for 4 to 5 hours. Usually the dopamine will go away. But keep in mind, this OT could definitely fail. It's probabilities, but it will work out, right? It will definitely work out in your favor over the long term, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. OTs where you get the OTE is where you get the highest probability setups, right? OT is usually always the setups that you can take as a really high A plus setup, because usually OTE will start off the second leg. OTE basically already knows, so OTE will already go to the drawn liquidity, right? So what I mean is that really high probability setup is simply because OTE is, market already moved in one direction. OTE is gonna start the second leg to move into that direction, right? So this OTE is already gonna go. So market already showed that the market wants to go up higher. So market will, OTE will start the second leg of it wanting to go up higher, right? So you can see, I'm saying I'm saying it right. I'm not saying wrong, but it's always that. So there's an OTE currently in progress. Will he work out? I don't know. Will he fail? I don't know. I'm gonna see the outcome. The outcome is just letting time play out, right? Market will move regardless if time stop, regardless of what is happening around the world. The market will constantly move, right? But yeah, thank you for watching. Wish you guys on Discord. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys on Discord. Peace out.